Hi, and welcome back to the Artsy Fartsy podcast. Today I'm going to tell you about 5 things that I did to kind of freshen up my house for spring, and it's not what you think.
Welcome to the Artsy Fartsy experience with your host, Elizabeth, the creative, hardworking mom of 4 and a former public school art teacher. In this podcast, we dive into the colorful world of decluttering, home organization, and balancing the bustling life of raising 4 children. Each episode, Elizabeth shares her insider tips on transforming chaos into order. So grab your paintbrush, or maybe just a cup of coffee, and let's get artastic.
I am definitely not going to start doing spring cleaning here. I mean, I do my cleaning, but I've never been a deep clean kind of gal. Sure, every once in a while, something might roll under the stove or something like that, and I go, gosh, I need to get in there and clean this up. And I might pull out the stove and clean underneath and stuff like that. But otherwise, I am not deep cleaning. I am not, well, on the most part, I don't. Well, I guess we do have some curtains, but I don't pull down my curtains and wash them once a year or anything like that. That's a lot of work. I might do it sometimes if they really need it, but okay. 5 things that I am doing this year to freshen up my house for spring. Now, it's been a while since we've talked, and the reason is I did one of those all-day declutters. And the particular one that I use is the Take Your House Back program with Dawn from The Minimal Mom and Cass from Clutterbug and Dana from A Slob Comes Clean. And I really appreciate it. It gives me a deadline, and that's our thing, is that we procrastinate, right? So then I discovered that I have to do some decluttering of my digital stuff. And this is actually not one of my 5. This is like a bonus thing. So I learned that I need to start clearing out some of my files because I was having a hard time having such a big recording on my computer. And that's a mess. So another one of the things that I discovered that we need to start decluttering is gifts that we've gotten for Christmas. So now Christmas has been a while, and you've had the time to live with the item, and either you realize that it's not your favorite or it doesn't work for you in your home, and you feel a little guilty because somebody bought you that, and you maybe think that they should see it in your house before you get rid of it. Here's the thing. Somebody bought you that gift to be a gift of intention. That the gifting part is from the heart, right? So if you're not in love with it, I don't think they wanted to gift you a heartache. They don't want to gift you stress. They don't want to gift you something that clutters up your home. They want it to be something fun for you and your family. So, for example, we received one of those cute little s'more makers. I don't know if you've ever seen these at sometimes like cute little trendy coffee shops. They'll have a little tabletop s'more maker that's just like a heater that you can toast your marshmallow with. Well, my children love making s'mores a lot. And my sister-in-law had this awesome intention to get us this s'more maker. It looks super cute. It looks like you could Instagram some really cute pictures with this thing. So then we actually tried to use it. And my 5-year-old then proceeded to not be satisfied with how hot it got and was touching this like metal grate part with her s'more. And she starts to, you smell the burning of it on that. And in your house, it just didn't feel safe. So personally, I'd rather have a fire in my fireplace and let them do it that way. Or we use the microwave method and they nuke a marshmallow for 10 to 20 seconds. And that's all you need. And poof, instant s'more. They put it together. They're happy as clams. And it's very little stress or mess for me. But now I had this thing. It was this extra utensil. It was big. I'd say at least a good couple feet across. And it just took up space. And I go, you know what? I don't want to have to use this again. I don't want to have to worry about her getting hurt. I don't want to have to worry about the cleanup. I have to pack it away. I have to store it somewhere. It was not a gift to me, but the item is brand new. So I know if I put it back in the box and I give it to somewhere like a thrift shop or Goodwill or whatever your choice of donation would be, someone else is going to find that and be really happy and excited. And I think that's okay. The intention was, it was a really great idea. It was totally worth the try that she gave it to us knowing our kids love s'mores, but the product just wasn't everything it was supposed to be, which happens all the time, right? We get things with these intentions or promises from the manufacturer, and it just doesn't quite fulfill that promise, right? So get rid of gifts that are not working for you. Get rid of things that you've not unwrapped. So you're gonna have to go with the use it or lose it. That would happen to me all the time, is I would leave socks in the package in the laundry room. And I was like, you know what, that's not really the style of sock that I want. So I'd leave it in there. I might leave it in the laundry room, still with the tag on it or in the plastic bag or whatever, for a year. However long it was, it would be still in the packaging, totally unused for a really long time. Why? Why am I storing this? It's taking up space in my laundry room. Every time I see it, I go, ugh, I've got to do something with that. And then I don't want to deal with it, so it just sits there. Instead of leaving it there, now I'm like, okay, who could I give these socks to? What donation center? Fine. It doesn't even have to be the perfect donation center, guys. Just do it. Just donate it. But I decided to use them for our Operation Christmas Child boxes. They need socks. They would appreciate a pair of socks. Put them in there. Perfectly good socks. Now somebody's happy with that pair of socks that I didn't want, I didn't love, and that's okay. So speaking of donations, that's number 2. So donation boxes. I sometimes will collect donation boxes in, we call it our butler pantry, but it's like this extra hallway that we have with a couple of cupboards. And it's kind of a weird pass-through. We don't really use it that often, but I'll leave the donation boxes in there and we just start throwing stuff in. This hallway ends up being full of boxes. And it's only maybe, a box might be half full. So we just leave it there and we'll just throw things in there as we go. Well, then one box becomes 2, which becomes another box, and a box on top of the box, and a box on top of that box. And then I need another box, so then it spreads, right? And then we'll end up with like 6 to 8 boxes in this hallway, which then starts creeping into our front room. And then that starts creeping into our kitchen. And what we did this spring, get rid of those boxes. I know it really should be your intention that you go through and do your donations, get them in the box, put the box in your car. But that's not realistic for everybody. I have a really limited amount of time while my kids are at school that I can do that stuff, let alone I'm still taking care of a toddler, right? So if you understand me, I feel you, you feel me. It's just a lot trying to do that in one day and take a trip to the donation center. So get those boxes, make a point. Today is the day. I'm taking all those donation boxes from my hall, my room, my garage, whatever it might be, and get them out of your house. Number three we did this year was painting some of our walls. And I've done it a couple different ways. I've literally taken like one of my handy dandy tiny artist paintbrushes and taken the can of paint and just touched up the scratches. So go through, find those spots that your kids rubbed up on the wall, they threw their toy or whatever it might be, and touch those up, and your house will feel and look fresher and you're going to be happier. Another way that we did it in our hallway this year, I had some parts where the paint had peeled off, and one particular child, my little E the destroyer, she peeled this spot off intentionally. Drives me crazy, the things that this child does. But so we decided patched any little dings and things, and took the same color, once again, the same color of wall, the same can of paint that we'd used to paint that hallway, and we just rolled it on, didn't cut in. I went all the way up that I could and all the way down that, I could to the baseboard without touching the baseboard. Didn't cut in at all, saved a ton of time, looks the same color, nobody's gonna notice. I actually don't notice at all, and I know it's there. So you look at the ceiling and you don't see that you didn't cut in, and it still looks good. So save yourself some time, give yourself a little refresh, and let me tell you, it looks great having the walls clean. Number four might seem pretty easy or logical, but it's time to start going through those clothes again. So hopefully as clothes came in December, you got one, you got rid of one, right? Well, especially with our kids, sometimes we get stuff in and we don't want to throw away their favorite thing. We feel a little guilty about it. Well, now we're getting toward the end of the school year, and those nice clothes that looked great at the beginning of the year don't look so great anymore. Look for things with stains, rips, fading decals, and just throw them out. I knew it was time to start going through clothes when my laundry started getting too hard to do. I couldn't keep up with doing a load. I had to do more than one load of lights or whatever it was. And that just tells me that we have way too many clothes and a couple of culprits that like to wear more than one outfit in a day. So give them less options to wear and they'll stop wearing those double outfits. And if you have less, that laundry is easier to do. You're more likely to do it and get it done and back to them faster. So holes gone, stains gone. Get rid of that old stuff. You're gonna be glad that you did. Okay, so remember me talking about Cass from Clutterbug? Cass from Clutterbug is one of my favorite people that talks about decluttering. And sometimes she'll talk about just even home decorating and finances and just odds and end things that kind of happen in our everyday life. And this is kind of a combo thing. She had mentioned fairly recently about being happy in your space as it is right now, or making it the best that you can for the now, okay? And goodness knows, I have lots of wants. Like, I want a new dining room set. I want a new couch. I want these things. They're not happening right now. Once again, 4 kids, 2 of them need braces. Oh my goodness, thousands of dollars that we don't have. And if I spend it on a couch, I would feel the mom guilt, right? Well, we have a dining set with hodgepodge chairs. I got some cheap chairs thinking it would freshen it up and make it feel better because our old chairs were falling apart because, to be honest, it was my grandmother's table set and she didn't take very good care of it when she had it. So they were old and dried out. And they just were so brittle, the veneer was just falling off and everything. But those got these cheap chairs, and those have started falling apart. So I'm not happy with it. I really do want a new table set, but the table's fine. Usually we use tablecloths anyway, but the chairs are just awful. And how embarrassing for me to let you know, but we're actually using a couple fold-out chairs because a couple of those other chairs broke. So it looks awful. And we do host Christmas and we hosted Easter, and I feel really bad and embarrassed when people come over and see how awful it looks. So driving down the road, I saw some chairs from somebody's table set out. They had the table there too. I don't need that, don't want that nonsense. But I was gonna grab those chairs. So I sent out my husband actually to go grab those chairs. They were old too. I just put my kids to work. They were excited. I don't know why they wanted to help me. I actually didn't ask them. They just started doing it. So I started sanding these chairs. They all got in on it. Just a light sand, just enough to rough up the surface so we can spray paint it. I wiped it down with a cloth so it was nice and clean. And then spray paint. Yes, I spent money on spray paint, and quite a bit of money. When you think about it in the big picture, you're like, oh, I wouldn't spend that much on clothes right now. But these are chairs that we're gonna use every day, And honestly, the money I spent in spray paint is probably the amount I would have spent on one new chair. So now that's done. I only spent maybe, it was less than $15 on new vinyl, covered them myself with a staple gun I already had, and I just re-screw them all together and it's gonna be done. The chairs look good enough for right now, and that's okay. It's okay. Make your space as good as you can for now so that you're happy and save that money for tomorrow. So that's it. Those are my 5 things. Get rid of those gifts, get rid of those donation boxes, maybe touch up your walls, get rid of those old clothes that are dingy and make your kids look shabby. You can replace those pretty easy. Even going to the thrift store, you can get better looking clothes than your kids' clothes at the thrift store. Believe me, they're there. And fixing up my house on the cheap to make it look fresh and new and better for me. I hope these tips helped you today and gave you some inspiration to freshen up your space for the spring. So drop down in the comments below what you're doing to make your space feel better this spring too. Have a great day. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I have had quite the week the last week. I'm telling you, it's been crazy. We've had homework assignments with the kids. I had, bless her little heart, my 5-year-olds, my kindergartners, brand new teacher. She came as a sub from one school, teaching 3rd grade, and came into her kindergarten class, emerging brand new teacher. And she had said that she was doing all of these things for Easter in the classroom, and then probably realized it was too much work or had another co-teacher tell her that you're crazy. But let me know at 3 o'clock on the Monday before Easter that the egg drop, you know, the science assignment where they drop an egg and try not to break it in some kind of contraption, was due on Thursday. It was Monday, 3 p.m. The shopping day is done. I'm picking up my 3 children. I have all 4 children on a weekday, so that's out. So I had Tuesday and Wednesday to make a project. And you know, I was gonna end up making the project, and don't come at me, but how am I supposed to teach my 5-year-old all about science in 2 days and have it done and come up with something and all these things after I had just done these other like gifted assignments or whatever over the weekend with the other 2 and like guiding them on how to do it, but I'm not doing it because it's your assignment. I already did elementary school, right? And it was just a lot. It was a lot. I was stressed out. It was awful. Got it done. Got it done. A+ for me. Oh my goodness. It was awful. I can't believe I did it. Can't believe I did it. Got it done. Got these chairs, spray painting those, covering the seats. Why do we do these things? Because I want my life to be a little bit better than it is right now. But I'm feeling the mom crazy right now. I know you guys know what I'm saying, and I only have 4. There's people with 10. I don't know how you do that. I can barely survive. I am trying my best to thrive, but I'm in survive plus mode, maybe. I don't know. But getting our house looking nice on the cheap, trying to be a super mom, dealing with a hormonal 11-year-old. Just pray for me, guys. Pray for me. We're all in this together. And if you don't pray, send me your universal well wishes. Give me some good juju. I need it. I've had quite the week. But even though I know my mother-in-law probably looks at me and thinks I'm crazy, she's coming over before she goes back out of state, and she's gonna babysit today, and we're taking that 5-year-old little girl that likes to destroy things. She's earned a date night for her good behavior, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take my date night with my daughter, with my husband, and we're gonna go out and see a movie or something and spend too much money on that, but we're going to the cheap theater, so don't come at me for that either. But anyway, and we're just gonna take a night off. And I deserve that. Every once in a while we got to do that, and she deserves it too, because this poor thing could really use some individual attention time. What do they call that? The mind, body, and spirit time with her parents. That's what we're going to do. Give me positive vibes, people. Keep them coming. I'll think about you, you think about me, and we'll cheer each other on. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and check me out on the Artsy Fartsy Experience blog. It's actually artsyfartsy.com.